Back once again for the renegade master. 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 Back once again for the renegade master.
Hello my renegades and welcome back. And what are we getting into? We're getting into Love is Blind season 7. We are now at episode 4 and it's called The Tables Have Turned. Before we get into this episode, as I always ask, please hit that subscribe button, please hit that notification button so you know I'm doing videos. Please comment, like, share and do all good things that you do, because I am on the road to 1k, as you all know. Anywho, shall we flight ourselves back in to this car crash of a season, shall we? Because that's what it is. It's the epitome of car crashes of the season of Love is Blind. I've never watched anything so bad in all my life, like seriously. But we are leaving off from episode 3 where Hannah is still in the pod with Leo. So basically where it had left off is Leo was literally haranguing and harassing Hannah, basically saying to her, like, if I asked you, will you marry me right now, right this minute, will you do it? All I kept on thinking is Hannah better say no to hell God no. Just by how this man is talking to you, treating you, playing you, manipulating you, gaslighting the fuck out of you, that should be a hell fucking no. How she stayed in that room for so long, I don't know. How she stayed in that room for so long, I don't know. And it's the audacity of Leo to demand anything from Hannah when, excuse me, my guy, you ready to pull the strings between Hannah and Brittany for how long? You would not give a decision for how long? But yet you want Hannah to tell you right now, if I asked you to marry me now, will you do it? Because you're only saying that you want to end things now, that you love Nick because he said it first, because I didn't show you my true intentions, but now you want to sit there and fight for Hannah? Leo is the type of person who did not play nice as a kid. That's who he reminds me of. Did not play nice as a kid. He is not even respecting Hannah's choice of what she wants to do. So Hannah says he wants an answer in a response to Hannah saying that she's confused. So he's saying to her, well, can't you at least wait one more day? Wait one more day for what? For your bullshit. For the constant bullshit. This man's on another planet. He's literally on another planet. And why these two women keep giving this man space and time and air is completely beyond me. Like, completely beyond me. I was at this point, I was saying, Hannah, my love, seriously, grow a pair and tell this man to do one. Like, seriously, go take a walk off a short pier and do one. Like, honestly. Oh God. So he turned around and he's basically said that she had him willing to tear his hair out all day. I was like, brother, please. Brother, please. No. Come on now. Leo is playing dirty with this girl's feelings. Like, dirty with this girl's feelings. And that's why I said in my last episode, not how one person out of the producing staff could turn around and end that conversation then and there, because that's what they needed to do. They needed to dead that conversation off. Like, really dead it off, because Leo was showing his true dastardly self. Like, and then making Hannah doubt herself. And this is why I say that Hannah constantly, all the time, listens to the voices around her and not her own thoughts and feelings, to literally say to this dude, I've made my decision. If you cannot accept that, that is a you problem, not a me problem. I am now leaving here, telling you, me and you are no more. This is who I want. You accept it or you don't accept it, but that's up to you, not to me. But no, he had this girl broken in that room, broken, and his behavior was beyond disgusting. And as I said already, I don't understand why nobody didn't step up. So Hannah starts the conversation, and I do wonder how that will go over when she goes back to the room, because she goes back in tears. And all I thought, right, this is it now. This is the catalyst where Brittany and Hannah need to lay it on the table in regards to this prick of a man called Leo, and the fact that he's playing too many games with people. So we get to see Bodan and Marissa have another date. For me, these two are not too serious with each other. They are kind of jokey all the time, and they do confuse me a little because I see Marissa probably engage more with Ramses than she does with Badan. Badan talks about that he's not like your literal military guy, and they do go into the realm of, like, you know, Marissa dating a Trump supporter for 3 years who she says was a good person. But I'm like, how could you detract from the fundamental factors, yeah, in the terms of why this person is such a Trump supporter against your own interests, but still see this person as a great person? That I will never be able to comprehend in that sense. So basically, Marissa is talking about how, like, you know, it was more so the person that she was dating's thinking and how they saw society and the world. And I just thought, but Marissa, as a black woman, you let that carry on for 3 whole years. You dated this man. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know how that meshed. I really don't. So then they talk about the behaviour of Trump, and Marissa says it's like looking up to our commander in the military. We would not allow that type of behaviour in a leader in the military. And I thought, but you'd allow it in your bed though. So I just did not understand the thinking processes around that. So then we have Tim and Alex dating again, and Tim basically bought Alex a gift. So basically this gift it was a bracelet that was something of his sister's, and his sister had brought it for his other sister before she passed away, and it's engraved "Love Eternal Sis." So basically at first Alex wasn't too sure how to take that, because she wasn't too sure of, well, what's the meaning of it and why do I have it. So basically he used it as a sign by telling Alex that it's a sign that, you know, she didn't get to physically meet his sisters, but this is how she's going to meet his sisters and how they're going to be involved in that process for him. He felt that it was proper to give it to her to show her how serious he is about them, and it's a trusted item, so basically he's entrusting it to her. And Alex did cry, don't get me wrong, Alex did cry. They do have fun with each other at points, but then it does get rather serious. I just don't know about them two. I really don't. My vote is still at them two. So then we get to Stephen and Monica. I can't with these two at all. So Monica is basically saying to Stephen that she's not used to men like Stephen. Basically, she is used to the guys where she'd always look at what universities they went to, what job they had, Stephen doesn't have that, in essence. She turns around and she talks about his votes, and then quickly leaps onto his dad and the fact that, you know, his dad is a percentage of black, so Stephen says. And I'm just like, how do you compute that? And the fact that he called you a mutt too, it was the most boring proposal ever, let me just put it that way. She provides him with accolades. And I just thought, Stephen's going to disappoint you, my girl. Stephen is not the man he's portraying himself to be to you. But at the end of the day, Monica is accepting the bare minimum at this point in time. So she even made a joke about him being barely that black. And I just thought, yeah, I just can't with you two. I really can't. So now we have Stephen and Monica, who are now together. People, make of that what you will at the end of the day. So then we get to Ramses and Marissa. And basically he talks about how today has been a lot. So she said that she has questions for him. So she was asking in regards to if he's a handyman, does he know how to fix certain things? And he was saying that he's not too bad at doing what he needs to do, even if he follows instructions. And then she talked about, like, who's his favorite in terms of favorite comedians, and she talks about Adam Sandler and Will Ferrell, and there was only, like, you know, one correct answer in that. And basically Ramsey said that he liked both, but more leaned towards Will Ferrell, whereas she was like, yeah, it's Adam Sandler all the way, because Will Ferrell's not funny. But they're funny in their own right, to be honest with you. They have a different type of comedy style. So I don't know what that had to do with the whole grand scheme of things and who she was going to choose. It blew my mind, to be honest with you. So at this point, I was just thinking that with Marissa, is she going to be serious enough for any one of these lads, to be honest with you? Is she going to be serious enough through this process? So my decision making when it comes to Marissa was kind of out, but I do like her, don't get me wrong. I do like Marissa. So Bodan is 100% in on Marissa, and Marissa basically says that she feels the same way, but she doesn't see herself with either Bodan or Ramses right now. So I'm kind of like, are you kind of playing a little bit? It's time for Marissa to make a decision. So we go back to Marissa and Bodan. So as it is, Marissa has basically come and made her decision. So she basically says that she is more sure on Ramses than she is on him. She says that she does have feelings for Bodan, but the romantic feelings that she has are more stronger for Ramses than it is for Bodan. Bodan took it so well though. He really did. He was quite mature with it, you know what I mean? He knew that was going to happen. She would either pick him or not pick him, but he wasn't going to feel a way about it. So it was just the way that Marissa kept going on in terms of, oh, how he's taking it so well, and now we're still in the room with each other. And I'm thinking, well, what do you want him to do? Get loud, get angry? No, he's not going to do that. That's not the type of person he is. Bearing in mind, she's been getting to know Bodan, so she would have realised that's not the type of person he is. So Marissa has made her choice. And now it's for Leo, the conniving Leo, because it's next day now. Yes, it's next day to make his choice. So Hannah does tell Alex that she tried to break up with Leo, but he wouldn't let her. At that point, I don't know why her and Brittany didn't have this talk about Leo. The discussion needed to happen about this man for real, like seriously, so they could be very well informed of what it is that they're going to do going in. So Hannah sees that she was now manipulated by Leo, and she didn't like the way that he spoke to her at all. As I said, Leo is garbage. That man is garbage. He needs to go in the bin truck and be taken to a landfill, because he has no business being on a show like this. Let's put it that way. Majority of these people up in here have no business being on a show like this because they're not genuine. They're totally not genuine, and Leo is definitely one of them. Leo is just showing his whole ass across the whole fucking nation with how he behaves. So basically, she goes and she tells Brittany exactly what happened, and Brittany is okay, to be fair, because at the end of the day, it's not Hannah's fault that that both of these people have been manipulated by this man. So Brittany turns around and says that she appreciates Hannah for telling her. So Brittany is basically well and fully informed of what shit was going down with Leo and with Hannah, basically. So Hannah is literally completely deaded this man off. She don't want nothing to do with him after the way that he treated her. So my thing is Brittany decides to go with Leo. She goes there willingly at the end of the day, knowing he was not just playing her, but he was playing Hannah too with his bullshit. So now Leo is going in about the mess, and he speaks to Nick D and basically tells him little snippets to make it look bad for Hannah. Basically, he leaves out the emotional battering that he did to this girl, but talks about how she was crying, she was this, she was that. So as Leo's explaining, he ends up calling Hannah Brittany, and people have to correct him. Do you mean Hannah? I was like, my God. He then starts talking about how Hannah was crying so hard that she couldn't form the words. And I'm like, please, somebody just throw this whole man away. Like, throw this whole man away. All the men had to correct his backside. Leo is an instigator, yeah, and he should end up with no one at all. That's how I'm seeing it. So Leo is really blasting Hannah, because Hannah didn't want to sit there and take his bullshit no more, because Hannah left the conversation. So Leo is literally clamping onto that and literally blasting this girl for leaving the conversation and thinking that this is not the type of woman that I want, who is not willing to fight. And I'm like, are you taking the piss? So Nick D, thank the fucking Lord, did end up speaking up on Hannah's behalf at the end of the day, because I'm like, how are you gonna sit there and drag this girl when you relentlessly verbally harass this girl to try and pick you when you know that you were playing Brittany and Hannah at the same time, knowing full well that you ain't even given decision yet. Whoa. So Hannah and Leo go in and have a talk. Hannah's ready for him. Hannah's put on her fight girl clothes, let's just put it that way, because Hannah's at a point where I don't even want you no more, my guy. And you ain't gonna let me feel the way that you made me feel the night before. It ain't gonna happen. So Leo is then all apologetic, and I thought, you're full of bullshit at the end of the day. So Hannah basically tells him how overwhelming it was for her. So Leo basically, she turns around and she says that Leo made her feel shame and embarrassment, and you could see it. You could literally see it, and that's why she broke down. So at the end of the day, she shouldn't have to take on the feelings of this fucking dickhead, because at the end of the day, it was a Leo problem, not a Hannah problem, and he should not have brought that shit to her. So why Leo deserves any woman in there is beyond me. He was too comfortable doing what he did to Hannah, which makes me think he's done this one too many times before, and that's why this fucker is single. Let's just put it that way. Let's call a book a book. That's why he is single. So Leo says that this was a horrible side of him, and he's not making any excuses, but then justifies it by saying but after what he said, which then basically negates everything that he said previously. So I'm telling you, this is how Leo acts. He's now doing damage control. That's what he's doing, to say all the right things, to make himself not look so much of a prick. So he's asking forgiveness from Hannah, which she does give him. Okay, albeit that's all in all. I would forgive and not forget. That's how I would say. She turns around and starts waxing poetic about him, about he's like a fantastic person, he's genuine. I'm like, really, Hannah? Really? After what the fuck he did to you, and this is what you're saying to him? So Hannah does have a feeling that her connection with with Leo is not there. Leo does go silent and then turns around and says, we are just not compatible. And basically then tries to contemplate it by saying, well, you know, Nick is everything that I'm not. Leo starts to say that Nick is compassionate, he's kind, he's wise, and he would be a better fit for you. At the end of the day, Hannah does not need Leo's freaking acceptance. Hannah does not need Leo's bloody permission in order to get to know Nick, because she would have known these things about Nick as she spoke to him. That's why she chose him at the end of the day. So I don't know where Leo gets off thinking that Hannah needs his seal of approval. But at the end of that, because Hannah was the one that dumped Leo's ass. Let's not get it freaking twisted. So Hannah turns around and basically says, I know. And I've known this the whole time. He's my person. So you see with Leo, what he does when he doesn't like to hear a certain thing, he will then start to be petty, and he began to be petty and turn around and says, well, this is how I feel about Brittany. I was like, bitch, please. Yeah. So Hannah did the roll of the eyes, and I'm thinking collectively we all rolled our eyes to say, what the fuck you going on with now? Like, what the fuck is Leo going on with now? So now it's him saying Brittany is the most fantastic woman, and he hopes he didn't let the love of his life slip through his fingers. But 24 hours ago, dude, you were begging Hannah to pick you. Manipulating Hannah to pick you by telling you that you loved her, and you would only say that to the woman you wanted to marry. Bogus. Leo is bogus. Let's just put it that way, bogus. So now Leo wants to enlist the help of Hannah. Get this, enlist the help of Hannah to get word to Brittany, to, in essence, to big him up so Brittany will say that she will marry him. Because Leo knows he done fucked up. He knows he done fucked up. And here he goes again, falling into the realm of the manipulative behaviour. He treated Hannah like shit, and then expecting Hannah to pick up the pieces for him after the bullshit that he caused. But let's be rest assured, Brittany is fully well informed of the bullshit that is Leo. So if she picks him, that's on her this time around. That is on her. So basically, Leo is talking about how he wants to get down on one knee for Brittany. So Hannah rightfully asked, well, why did you do what you did last night? Leo basically turned around and said that he felt betrayed. And I'm like, well, brother, please, no. You didn't feel betrayed. What it was, you didn't have your plaything no more. What it was is you didn't like the fact that Hannah ended things with you. You didn't like the fact that Hannah decided to walk away from you. That's what it came down to. He didn't like not being in control no more. So he felt that they were taking as much time as possible to make this informed decision. And I'm like, what? Did you swallow a textbook, Leo? Like, seriously? So basically, what he wanted was for Hannah to tell Brittany that they came to a mutual decision. No, Hannah dumped your ass the night before. You threw a tantrum because you couldn't take the fact that she dumped you. So no, it wasn't a mutual decision whatsoever. So basically, he then tried to tell Hannah that he tried to cancel the date for last night with Hannah. And Hannah point blank says, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. Because that's not what you told me last night. Leo was stumped. He was stumped for the minute. And then he had the audacity to say, I'm not here trying to talk about Britney. But that's exactly what you're doing, my friend. That's exactly what you're doing for the past longest minutes of my freaking life, Leo. You've been chatting about Britney and trying to get Hannah to put in a good word for Britney, and how you're literally in love with Britney, how you literally want to get down on one knee with Britney, how you literally want to marry this girl because you've now recognised that Britney is the love of your life. I swear down. So Hannah basically tells him, I ain't giving no messages to Britney at the end of the day. I'm not doing that for ya. Just I ain't got no more to say about that, man. Like, seriously, no more to say about that, man. So Britney is basically going through, when you see her back in the women's lounge, and she knows that she's going to go on a date with Leo next, but she wants to see what Hannah's got to say in terms of what happened with Leo when she comes back in. So she then turns around and she sees that now, as the title says, the tables have turned, and they have, because Leo has no other options now but Britney. So it's going to be up to Britney to literally take that option, or tell him to go, you know, go catch mist on a curly day. That's what she needs to do, but she doesn't, does she? So Hannah comes back in, gives her the overview of what Leo said, and basically said to Britney, but she's a big girl, it's her decision at the end of the day. She was not going to come out here and say, oh, he loves you, Britney, when she don't even know that for herself, and Britney doesn't even know that for herself. So now it's time for Britney to make her decision. So then you see Tim and Alex in the room together, and basically Tim has read out all these flowery and lovely words to Alex, and he turns around and asks Alex to marry him. She says yes, so now we have another couple in Alex and Tim. So now it's time for Stephen and Monica to meet. This woman, in her VC before she meets Stephen, sits there and she is fully impressed by the fact that Stephen says his father is 3/5 black. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? What is it? What does that mean? Anyway, so I was like, okay, she's proud of the fact that Stephen actually did the bare minimum. And being that his father is a Republican, I don't think he's going to accept that in any way, shape or form. And he's going to continue being the way that he is. He is not going to go research cultures in regards to Africa. He ain't going to do it. He ain't going to do it. He ain't been brought up in the culture. So what the fuck does he know about the culture? And this is what I'm saying. Like, he's accepting the literal bare minimum from this man. Bare minimum, that means him doing what he did and saying what he said in regards to that. Yeah, and you acting the way it's not the flex that you think it is, my love. Like, seriously. Hi, the bar is set so damn low. Set so damn low. So it was a weird meet, let me just put it that way, but they did kiss each other. He does get down on one knee and give Monica the ring. The first initial reaction is yes, they do like each other. I don't know what it was, but I just got weirded out watching them. Like, even when they kissed, it just weirded me out. It was just the most weird feeling that I had. And it was just the way that he, when he's kissing her, literally had his hand round her neck and she was holding him like that. And it weren't even like a gentle caress. It was literally him having his hand round. I don't mind being kissed like that, yeah. But don't get to squeezing. If I'm holding your hand there, like, I'm telling you that's a little bit uncomfortable, can you move your hand? He didn't move his hand in any way, shape or form. I don't know. He just rubs me the wrong way. Like, seriously rubs me the wrong way. So then we have Marissa and Ramses. So Marissa told Ramses that she did end things with Badan. And basically she likes the way that things are feeling different when she's with Ramses than it was with Badan. And he did turn around and say to her that, you know what, when he was thinking about things, he was just wondering if Marissa was being honest about her feelings about the type of man she wanted, because he realised that her being military and Badan being military and them having a lot of things in common, does she really want Ramses at the end of the day? Marissa basically was saying that Phyllis, she's always felt that she weren't able to breathe around other people, but with him, he makes her relax, he makes her comfortable, he makes her fears go away, basically. She does have fears that, you know what, the guys wish to be with her because of how she looks and her personality, but then as time goes on, they kind of run from her in that sense. So that's why she kind of chose to do this whole scenario the way that she's doing it. She asked Francis if he believes she would be too much for him. He does hesitate a little bit, but then talk about it, and he does reassure her. So then we have Nick D and Hannah. So Hannah at last gives Nick D some freaking accolades and some flowers, like, because she was hard work. These first talks, I am gonna say, before they like ask the question to Mariam, do make me laugh, because it's like they all sing from the same hymn sheet. They all have a set scenario that they're going to say of how this person makes them feel, how this person has made them feel, that they love them, yada yada yada. It's always the same. There's never nothing different, because I'm kind of like, you will say this at the beginning, but then by the time you get to the end of that freaking road, you two may hate each other, like, seriously. So Nick D does ask Hannah to marry him, and she says yes. So we have Hannah and Nick D. So then it moves to Alex and Tim meeting, and I would say that even though they didn't fill me with the thrills of joy and they are quite braggy, I would say that this is the first couple, in essence, to make me smile when they met, because it seemed to be genuine. So they go sit down, and he must have given her that ring so quick I missed it, because I didn't even realise she had the ring on her finger. He does point out Alex's nose ring. Even though he says that it ain't a problem, you can see it is by the way that he looks at her and the expression he gives on his face. So then he brought up the fact that his sister got a nose ring and dad got mad at it, and I was like, yeah, this man has a problem with that. He really does. Even though you can't necessarily see, it's not a great big honking one out of her nose, it's literally just a hoop on her nostril. Again, he keeps calling himself a dog. Alex basically says that she's not playing with him, and he needs to stop it because it's going to get tiring soon enough for her. So we come to Brittany and Leo, and she's walked into the room, and she whispers as she walked into the room, oh, the tables have turned. I don't think Leo caught on to the fact of what it was that Brittany said, because he was still closing the door at the time. So he decides to get comfortable. So I'm like, okay, here we go. Showdown City. Will it be a hell no thrown in, as Brittany needs to learn her worth, and Leo ain't, he's not the one, serious. Basically, he's such an actor. Like, he's literally such an actor. So he's literally stumbling over his words to get them out, and he turns around, because he can't get his words out, turns around with the next thing, I'm so in love with you, Brittany. Brittany sits back as calm as you please, and she's smiling. So I'm like, Brittany's wrote some words down on a piece of paper and she wanted to say it. At first it was going to be all love and light, but then she scratched it all out. So she wrote like a 2-page freaking letter back to front. It was long. So basically she was open and honest with him. And then she starts crying at the first opening letters. And I'm like, my girl, don't cry, because now I know what's coming. Now I know that you're literally going to go on a gung-ho with this dude. Like, seriously. So she did about 50%, I would say, of letting him know what she was feeling, and then everyone knew what happened with Hannah and him, and that the girls were basically believing that she would be settling or being happy to be second best if she committed to him. She said she had a wave of coldness come over her, and that told her that she was still hurt by the scenario and what happened. She did set out that their connection was now tainted. I was like, yeah, it was kind of a punch to the gut, because I'm like, well, what's going to happen next? Now you've said all of this, what is your actions going to be next? So Leo says, after Brittany shares that this was her fear in terms of someone walking away from all the situation that had occurred, that he loves her so much and knew she liked hearing it. I was like, what the fuck was that? My girl was still sat there though. She was still sat there. So I generally thought, I know what's going to happen come the next episode. Like, my girl is literally going to sit there and accept this man's accolades and bullshit. Like, I'm betting you that's what's going to happen in the next episode. But this is where that episode ended. I'll be back in quick succession with the next episode. As I always ask, please hit that subscribe button, please hit that notification button so you know when I'm doing videos. Please comment, like, share, do the good things that you do, and I will speak to you all again soon. Peace out.